Hello everyone, this is Eagle Owl. This video is called Life of a DSP and Autism. I wanted to do this video because it's something that's near to my heart and happens to be my profession, so it's something I do daily. I've been a DSP for 2 years plus 10 months, so just shy of 3 years. A DSP stands for Direct Support Professional. And what it is it's working with kids who have autism. And so basically I'm going to go over what a DSP does and explain a little bit more about autism for people who aren't that familiar with it. A DSP, your basic job is you work side by side with the kids all day, and you're kind of like a jack of all trades. You basically help them with whatever they need. Kids with autism typically can't be left alone to their own devices for too long because of the nature of their characteristics. They might be likely to I don't know how you say it. They might get into things, they might mess up something, and it could be totally unintentional. So they basically need a little more care than your typical, let's say, young teen. Kids that have autism range from the high end of this high spectrum to completely nonverbal, so it covers a wide range. Some of them have no words whatsoever. Some of them need help with almost everything apart from eating. Some of them have vocabularies of a few dozen words. Some kids with autism can add and subtract, spell their first and last name, tell you exactly what they want. A lot of kids with the autism, especially a lot of the ones that I work with, they can't walk up to you and just say, "I want this." Some of them can, but some of them can't. So you have to learn, when you're a DSP, you have to learn to understand their body language, and it's different for each kid. Just like us, they each have their own personality. So you got to learn their particular body language and what it means when they do a certain movement or make a certain sound or act a certain way. And over time, you get to where you know what they want based on their movements and their actions without them actually having to say it. A DSP worker, I'm gonna keep covering what a DSP worker does and some aspects of autism. A DSP worker, a typical day would consist of getting them up at the proper time, because where I work, it's a residence and a school, so it's both. So there's a daily schedule to follow. And kids with autism, their brain, the way their brain is wired, they're used to this schedule. And so it's somewhat common to go along with it or to expect whatever should happen next. Their brain is expecting that. And a lot of times, if you deviate from the expected schedule, they're confused and they're not sure what's going on. And sometimes it kind of throws things off balance a little bit. You get them up in the morning, and depending on their level, like I said, it covers the whole gamut. There's some of them can fully dress by themselves. Some of them can kind of clean themselves in the shower. Some of them can't hardly do any of that, like can't fully put on a pair of pants and button them. So you will get them up. You will help them shower. You will help them get dressed. Sometimes they'll put a clothing item on backwards or inside out. You help them get dressed. Shortly thereafter, a lot of kids have meds that are necessary to help them out, to limit some of the behaviors, and to help calm their mind and stuff. And then after getting dressed and meds, they have breakfast. And during breakfast, it's common for a kid with autism to just see something they want and just go grab it. So a lot of kids with autism, it's a very common characteristic to just go grab someone else's food. So you got to keep an eye on them and prevent one kid from taking another kid's food. And then after breakfast, the kids will have actual class. They actually have schooling just like any other kid. And so you help transition them down to the school. And during class time, a DSP's job is to provide whatever assistance the teacher can need. Due to the nature of kids with autism, it would not be practical and it would be very difficult to have one teacher in a class trying to function and maintain a sense of normalcy in a classroom full of kids that are on the autism spectrum, because there's a lot more things going on a lot more frequently than in a typical classroom. So a DSP will, if a kid suddenly gets up and starts walking around or tries to exit a class, or they may go over and touch another kid, they may grab another kid's head, they might even slap another kid or whatever. So it's typical to have a teacher and 2 or 3 DSP in a class because of the nature of autism and needing, a little extra care often. So a DSP helps during class time. And then after class is over, we help also there's transitioning to lunch and then back. There's also transitioning every day to the gym and back. And at the end of the school day, we help transition them back to their residential living quarters, the unit where they live. And they get a snack in the afternoon before supper comes. A lot of behaviors that you will see from kids with autism is hunger based. Like if I was to make a top 10 list of things that cause a kid with autism to quote act out, their acting out a lot of times isn't just a kid trying to be bad. It's their way of trying to communicate to you a need. So but high up on their list is hunger. When they feel hungry, they will do physical things to indicate it. It could be anything from doing a sign language for food. It could be that to some kids will slap another kid simply because they're hungry, or shove another kid, or go after a staff. All they know is their brain feels uncomfortable and they have to have a release because their brain is uncomfortable. And they can't always express what they need the way that others can. So that's one thing about kids with autism. A lot of kids with autism will put things in their mouth that shouldn't be put in your mouth. Sometimes it's for sensory reasons. Sometimes they will actually eat things that they shouldn't. And then another thing is, bad timing. Another thing is they will get into a lot of things out of curiosity. But a lot of times simply trying to express a need will bring them to doing a physically disruptive behavior. Some kids with autism can fully go take a bathroom break by themselves with 0 assistance, and then some will need assistance with everything. Some of them can wear normal underclothes like us, and then some of them actually have to be in pull-ups, or it's basically like a diaper. And so it can go anywhere from not being able to clean themselves after going in a pull-up to asking for a bathroom with a bathroom symbol, going to a bathroom on their own, cleaning themselves, and coming out. So it covers the whole wide range on the spectrum. And basically, like I said, it's you got to learn by their body language and the sounds that they make, what their needs are, and over time and through trial and error, you learn what a kid's needs are, and you learn their specific personalities, and you get much better at understanding them. And the thing is, even though they may not be able to talk, some people assume, okay, their IQ is so low that, that they probably don't get a lot. And even though they can't talk, they know what you're saying. And when I first started in the career, I was like, I wonder if they even know what I'm saying. Because if you're not around it a lot, you get the impression, wow, they don't seem like they know very much. But then you're constantly surprised on a daily basis on how much they actually know. They're just not good at expressing what they know. A lot of times they can be sensitive to sounds, and they can be sensitive to sounds and sights or sudden movements. So a lot of times a higher level of anything sensory can be disturbing to them. It can irritate them and make them uncomfortable. And then some kids actually want more sensory stimulus than normal. Like some of them like it more when there's a noise near them, or like it more when there's a light and they're attracted to it. So that covers a wide range, just like with everything else. But that's just a little bit about autism and what a DSP does. A DSP has to play a lot of different roles. They keep the peace. They care for them like a mother would. They help them, assist a teacher with schooling. So they basically cover a lot of different roles, but it's knowing a little bit of everything and just helping make their day smoother and trying to teach them things along the way. This is Igwal. Thanks for watching.